Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tifa Saningsih and my partner Rahmatul will present about book review Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. First, about the author. Joanne Rowling is well known as J.K. Rowling. She's a British novelist born on 31st July 1956. J.K. Rowling has a great transformation in her life from rags to riches with her debut book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Soon with her other writing works, she became the first billionaire author in the world. But she gave away her billionaire status and became a philanthropist by granting much of her earnings to charity. J.K. Rowling is not only a novelist, but she is also a film producer, television producer, and screenwriter. Introduction. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is the first book in the Harry Potter series written by J.K. Rowling. It was published by Bloomsbury in the United Kingdom in 1997, and the same was published in the name of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by Scholastic Corporation in the United States in 1998. The book won many awards in both countries. The thesis statement the author used in the novel is the young main characters embark upon a quest motivated by both self-discovery and selflessness. Major theme. The underlying theme which runs through the novel is the battle between good and evil. Some critics contend that the story is too dark for children to accept. However, Rowling has a different point of view. She believes that by facing their fears, children can learn to understand and overcome their fears. She argues that human life is very precious and should be treated with respect. The villain in the story held little regard for human life, and that was what evil really represents. How do the characters relate to the theme? Rowling acknowledges that some of her characters were initially inspired by real people, but eventually became unique in her own imagination. The evil people in the book are racists against the mudbloods, or children who have non-magical parents. Rowling explains that since Voldemort, the villain, is not of pure blood, he suffers from self-hatred and he compensates for his inferiority complex by murdering the mudbloods. When there is evil, there is love as well. Dealing with bereavement is a strong part of the story. Primary conflict. The main conflict of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is between Harry and Voldemort. Harry Potter finds the Sorcerer's Stone and Voldemort, who killed Harry's parents, wants that stone so he can rule Hogwarts. Then Voldemort will turn the school or Hogwarts into evil. That's why Harry needs to get the stone before Voldemort. The characters that are involved with the main conflict are Harry, Voldemort, and Quirrell. Quirrell is a teacher at Hogwarts. Thesis statement. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone introduces us to the magical world, and it does so in a smooth and comfortable fashion, introducing Harry to strange wonders never yet experienced. This makes the transition into the world of magic an easy and pleasant experience. She uses the fantasy genre to further elaborate and criticize what is currently happening in our society. This quotation taken from the book. There is no good and evil, there is only power, and those too weak to seek it. Page 291. And then, what was the author trying to accomplish? Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone includes many allusions to reality that demonstrates results due to its fantasy genre. By means of creating fictional fantasy stories, Rowling is able to convey clear message of the battle between good and evil and how moral issues are addressed in the society. And the next slide will be presented by Rahma.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rahmatul. Here I will present about the writing style in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone novel, written by J.K. Rowling. And first, I think the book is well written because J.K. Rowling uses a good conversational writing style and very eloquent. In the first passage of the book, Rowling already hooked the reader by a clever narrative style which makes the readers enjoy reading the novel. For example, is on the page 8, it says that Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Private Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you would expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. And there is also a humorous tone in Rowling's writing. For example, how she chose witty words to describe Dudley. Aunt Petunia often said that Dudley looked like a baby angel. Harry often said that Dudley looked like a pig in the week. And I think the novel also well argued. The author succeeds to make the reader understand the plot by a concise and easy word diction. She also makes the description of the characters easy to imagine in the reader's view. For example, when she described the troll in the girls' lavatory. In the page 161, it says that it was a horrible sight. 12 feet tall, its skin was a dull granite gray, its great lumpy body like a boulder, with its small bald head perched on top like a coconut. It had short legs, thick as tree trunks with flat horny feet. The smell coming from it was incredible. And also, the book has friendly story and the diction is easy to understand. Therefore, this book is accessible for readers of all ages. The next slide is about personal evaluation. First is my response to the author's point of view. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone written in a third-person point of view. From this point of view, the author made Harry as the center point in the novel, and the author plays roles as the narrator. She tells the reader what Harry is thinking, feeling, and seeing, as well as the situation where Harry was involved in. As the reader, I found the author's point of view is convincing. The actions of the main characters and the narrative descriptions of them tell the reader what type of person the characters are. And comparing to same genre of fantasy, such as The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is a handy book to read. Its plot is easier to follow than that The Lord of the Rings, and there is no unresolved issue in the plot of Harry Potter. And I think the author succeeded in creating mood through the setting. Sometimes the author put a witty word to set a humorous tone. The descriptive writing style makes the author can be visualized, makes the action can be visualized in reader's mind. For example, when Harry joined the Quidditch game, the author fully describes what happened when Harry tried to catch the golden snitch, how he drive his broomsticks, how he fell over from his broomsticks, and how the other player of Quidditch tried to catch the ball. And I think the author was successful in carrying out the overall purpose of the book through the narration, also throughout the story. The story keeps going forward and not jump back and forth so that the reader will grasp the storyline. And most of the time, the author uses narrative writing style and some of descriptive style to describe the character's appearance, the magical items, and the fantasy world. Here I will also tell the strengths of the novel. First, the novel is understandable. The description of places and items are clear. The author gives a detailed description of the magical items in the magical worlds. It makes the reader easier to imagine the magical world. And the plot is complicated, but with the easy and eloquent narrative style of J.K. Rowling's writing, the readers can follow the pace of the story. And the third is, I think, the conflict is not so hard and there is no critical issue faced by the main characters. And it makes the book as a light novel to read when we are relaxed. And I think the author tries to break gender stereotypes. There is no discrimination of the male and female characters. For example, Hermione portrays as a smart and caring girl. Ron Weasley as a male portrays as a cunning boy and a loyal friend of Harry. And this makes the novel acceptable for boys and girls. And there is also the weaknesses of the novel. First, since the author mainly focused in Harry Potter and she used the third-person point of view, the novel does not provide a glance into other characters' mind, nor can it show the reader what's happening in other places when Harry is not in it. And the book ends so sudden. I think it can be better with additional chapter when Harry returned to the Muggle world. When Harry returned to the private drive and how he feels after his first semester in Hogwarts, and etc. And there are too many side characters appear and making it difficult for the readers to remember the character's name. And now we jump to the conclusion. In conclusion, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is a good and enjoyable fantasy book that's accessible for readers of all ages. Its underlying theme between good and evil engages the reader to know more about Harry's journey. And the book gives a good moral message through the young main characters who jump upon the quest, motivated by both self-discovery and selflessness. In reading the story, I think the reader will not find difficulties to follow the pace because J.K. Rowling wrote the book with a witty and friendly narrative style. However, its third-person point of view makes the book lax in describing the other character's mind. In spite of its weaknesses, everything inside the book I think is well crafted, and hence I give the 5-star rates out of 5. I think that's all from me and Deva. Thank you for your attention.